Hey everybody, how's it going? Let me do that with my chat. I have my desk set up here because I'm chopping carrots. So yeah, my ears are crooked. How's it going, everybody? Did everybody find my instructions okay? I want to explain how to get into the live chat because some people are having trouble with that. What? What? My goodness. Yes. Oh, the baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, your baby. She's a mommy giant. She's a mommy girl. And your mommy loves her. Loves her oh so much. You still want more of that? Oh, okay. Because she wasn't done. She's your mommy's sweetheart. She's her mommy's girl. She's her mommy darling. See, say hi to everybody. The best in all the stop teasing them. Stop teasing the folks with your look. I got mommy. Can I have a little kiss? Okay. Give me a kiss for everybody out there. Okay, where's their kiss? There, you got a kiss, folks. Oh my goodness. Oh, now where's mommy's kiss? Where's mommy's kiss? Mwah. All right, there you go. There you go. There you go, baby. Hey, go lay down. All righty. Let me get my chat done. I'm not. It has to go this way. All right, let me just say hi to everybody. 74 Pearl, Bluebird, Donna Holland, Joanne Nelson, Carla Wyatt, Leslie Brooks, Nana Castles, c'est moi, Paula 123, and Sue, Terry, and Wesley. Now let me just pop out my chat. Okay, did everybody get my instructions? Oh, I need to be on live chat. Because some people are still saying they can't come into the chat through Patreon or the Facebook link. The Facebook link opens the video. But if you want to chat, you have to go down to the bottom right corner, click YouTube, and then click watch on YouTube. YouTube's the only thing that offers the chat. Everything else you just watch. Does that make sense? So when you open it, go down to the bottom, look for YouTube, click that, and click watch on YouTube. All right? Yes, and please be on live chat, not top chat. All right, I'm doing carrots today. Let me show you. I've got a canning pot here full of them. Oh, and I got a pot down beside me to put the chopped ones in. But I have to medicate first. Please, yesterday's live stream, if you were in there yesterday, you know that I don't want to talk about it anymore. And if you weren't in there, you now knowing I don't want to talk about it anymore. We discussed stuff that is over. Past members who have tried to screw or have messed with my life, it's over. Not my life, but my heart and it's over. I have forgiven. I'll never forget. But I have forgiven. And what forgiveness means is that I'm not going to say what he did was okay, or what they did was okay. Okay? What it means is I can love them enough. And I do love them. But I love them enough to say, I don't need this in my life. And I'm not going to let this affect me 1 second more. And every time somebody asks me about the live stream yesterday, I have to go over it up here and in here again. So I don't want to talk about it, okay? I'm sorry if you missed yesterday's live stream, but it was an extremely emotional and private conversation that I had to delete. Okay? So I'm really sorry about that. They may not have the YouTube app on their device. I don't know what else to tell you about that. I really don't. I mean, I work with a desktop and a phone, and I can get it. If you have a device, you look, you know how when you swipe it, your phone to go to another page, you swipe it up and it'll give you close all or whatever. When you swipe it up, look for the little chat, the little speaking bubble. Look for that and click on that. That may bring you into chat. It'll ask you live, none, or top. Okay? What is Miss Jean cooking? Hey, Jessica, Patricia Furby, Vicky Salami. I'm buffering really bad. Might have to switch my phone. Might be a good idea, sweetheart. All right, before I start slap chopping or chop wizarding my carrots, I have to medicate because this is one of the reasons I was using the KitchenAid to slice carrots, because I didn't want to have to do this, but I got through a third of the bag. So this is my second third. But you know what? I'm going to show you on video, but that stock pot of sliced carrots once I dehydrated it, filled an entire half-gallon jar. So I'm going to have sliced carrots and I'm going to have diced carrots in separate jars for separate things. If they don't have a YouTube account, they won't let you comment. Okay, this is where I explained to my friend Jane. Is Jane here by any chance? This is how I explained it to my friend Jane. Make a phony YouTube or make a phony Google account. Like use your ex-mother-in-law's maiden name or something as your last name. Okay? Or, butt cheeks or something, right? As your last name. Pick a date of approximate, but don't put your birth date because you might screw up, okay? Make a Google email address with a name, maybe your YouTube name, okay? Google email will allow you to make a YouTube account. And having a YouTube account does not let people into your life, only if you post videos. You only need to have a YouTube account to come into live streams and talk, right? It doesn't even have to be a public channel. It can be unlisted. You know what I mean? Hey, Carol. I bought 6 buckets yesterday to start filling with. All my pears fell off my tree. I'm going to have to get Howie to pick them up. Must have been something, but I'm going to have to get Howie to pick them all up, put them in a box and see if I can rescue any of them. All right, let me medicate before I commence to chopping. No, I'm not drinking multi-biscuit tea. I'm kind of hoarding it. I've only got 2.5 boxes left. I have a tendency to offer it to my kids and stuff when they come to visit. Joanne Nelson, feeling human again. Got epidurals in my SI joints and hot spot injections for my fibro too. Wow, you can get injections for fibro. Just the thought of a needle going into my skin terrifies me that they're going to hit a point. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I found a new way to roll turbines. I'll show that on Friday. Okay. I'm on live chat. I'm ready to commence chopping. I got the wrong knife for this. I'll be right back. Oh, where's Yarn Prepper? Yarn Prepper! How's it going? Oh, cool. That's chilly. I know. I actually turned my fan off last night. This, I see what's wrong. Somebody's chewed the end off of this. That'll work. That'll be fine. Hey, Helen Burke, how's it going? I'm doing carrots. When I use the Chop Wizard, folks, I don't make the carrots any bigger than this because I want to put it in sideways and I don't want my carrots any bigger. Yes. Use a rubber band. A thick broccoli rubber band. Put it around the lid and put one around the bottom of the jar so you can grip. Got me? That's how. I know they're the wrong way, but they sit the right way on my head, so I'm just going to leave them like that. They don't have to have kitty cat print on them, right? Some of these are just right. Like this is the size that's perfect for dicing. One thing I love. Can you see what's going on here? Nope. One thing I love about my Chop Wizard is, I'll show you in a second, is you can use it as a cutting board in small places like this. I should cut that one in half again. Oh, God. Oh. These are the perfect size. You wouldn't want them any bigger than that for dehydrating. Yes, I have a stock pot beside me with water in it for these carrots. There we go. There we go. I meant on the lid on a canning jar. Yes. Oh, you mean the flat ones, not the rings. You mean the inserts? Yeah, I know. They're all, this is why they're called. Oh, and I figured out, somebody asked me, what's the difference between juicing carrots and deer carrots? Nothing. Juicing carrots you'll find in the city because nobody wants deer carrots in the city. In the country, they call them deer carrots. Right? Unless you live in a province that doesn't allow you to put food out for the wildlife, then they're called juicing carrots there too. What? What's wrong with my pair? The insert. Oh, well, don't use a church key. Use the back of a butter knife, and be really slow. I mean, it's hard to get away without damaging them. You know what I mean? As soon as lids become available again online and jars, folks, start ordering. They're going to be twice as hard next year, unless a whole bunch of people just give up. Give up because it's too hard. Because you're going to find a lot of people that think canning and preserving your own food's really hard. Well, yeah, it's a lot of friggin' work. That's why, one of these times I'm gonna can something when my kids are here. And I'm gonna make them watch the process I go through for canning stuff. So that I know they appreciate that I do a lot of work, but I think they think it's a lot of work only because I have fibro. It's been a lot of work from the day I started. And it's brutal. But guess what? When I'm when I'm sitting sewing quilt patches or making ornaments or whatever, I don't have to worry about going grocery shopping. If we need anything like today, Howie's going to bring home bananas, lettuce, and milk, and that's it. That's all I need, right? Oh, you like the calico pickles, did ya? Hey, Julie Austin. I ordered a bunch on Amazon last night. Yeah, I'm on payday. I'm going to get Howie to pick me up an Amazon card. You can buy the gift Amazon cards at certain stores. I can get them at the IGA down the highway, and I can get them in Food Basics. And I'm going to get a couple of Amazon cards. I'm going to stock up on Amazon cards because I'm giving them to the kids this year. Because, I mean, other than socks and underwear and pajamas, right? What can I give them? So, hey, Bluebird. Bye-bye, Bluebird. Bye-bye. Sorry to go to work now. Bye, everyone. Till next time. Take care, sweetheart. Bye-bye. I took chicken out again. Howie's going to start getting sick of chicken. But tonight, it's not chicken and rice and veg. It's chicken and Annie's mac and cheese and green beans. Simple, simple, simple. Now, for those of you who watched the video this morning hang on, I know I got to get chopping. For those of you who watched the video this morning on making the freezer meals, the leftover makeover freezer meals, I'm sorry I didn't get to show you us eating them. I was just really tired by the time that came out of the oven and I never even thought about it. But I'll tell you what I did do, and I didn't do a video. I took the chicken bones, the chicken bones with the backs attached from those chickens. I'll get my smoke away from you. Hang on. I threw them in the crock pot with about 3 quarts of water. And then I put it on low and I let them simmer all night. Doesn't give you much, but it gives you some. And then I threw in a tablespoon of MSG-free chicken broth powder, took the bones out, chopped in an onion, a couple of cups of finely diced carrots. I went out in my garden. I pulled up the smallest celery plant, chopped it up, and threw it in. So onions, celery, carrots, and then I threw in a can of tomatoes and a can of kidney beans because there wasn't a lot of meat. There was no meat. So I threw in the kidney beans to make it more substantial, right? And Howie usually gets pissy if I give him tomato products too often. It's like you folks and your family and their damn tomatoes, right? But I made this soup. It was like a slapdash minestrone. And about 15 minutes before Howie came home, I threw in a handful of shells. Howie ate 2 big soup plates full. He said, God, is that ever good? I said, I'm glad you like it because I'm going to be canning some soon. Yes, I'm going to be canning it, but no noodles, of course. I'm going to be making beef minestrone and canning it without the noodles so that all I have to do is dump it in a crock pot and put in a pint of regular broth to loosen it up and then throw in some noodles. And then boom, boom, boom. So that's one of the reasons I wanted those quart jars so bad is because I need enough for the soup and I also need enough for when I do my chicken. Yeah, well, I mean, I had a lot of people get freaky over when I put in was doing things in aluminum foil, like back when I worked at the bakery. And so people said, Bev, it's not good for you. It's not that it's bad. It's really, I don't know. But I just found out it wasn't a good idea to put food directly against tinfoil unless you couldn't avoid it, right? For like when you're around the campfire or something and you want to make a tinfoil meal, right? I've done it. I did it in Cubs when I was with Cubs. I was blue. Anyway, he loved the soup, and I said, I'm glad you liked it because I'm going to can some. I love the idea of so the parchment paper, it's just if you make it because they go from wide to narrow, if you make it on the wide end and just snip an inch into the corners, they'll slide right down in, right? They'll slide down in and the corners will fold in on each other and it's like boom boom boom. So I'm really happy. I could have actually made one of those chicken suppers tonight, but I just kind of like leaving them for days when things are going to get really nuts. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear sweet Suzanne. Happy birthday to you. Mwah! And many more. I'm going to use the paper on my glass trays for easy cleanup. There you go. There you go. If you do them in your Pyrex, right? Excuse me. Hey, Sue Walters, how's it going? Hey, Sherella Lee. Now listen, folks. Is there anybody here in the chat that couldn't get into the chat before and my instructions became clear? Oh, well, thank you, Joanne. I used to have a lovely voice, and then I smoked. And then I quit smoking, and my voice seemed to come back. Hey, well, I'm glad, honey. All right, I got to take a couple more puffs, and then I got to get to chopping. I really hate chopping, but it's better than hand slicing. Personally, I like the sight of nice circles of carrots in my soups and stuff. But, fibro wins. Arthritis wins. So. Oh, glad, Pam. I'm glad. You still haven't, Mrs. Bev. Make sure you're on live chat, not top chat, so you won't miss any fun. Furby, I haven't sent your things yet. I'm going to send them when I send out all my parcels because it's a trip to the post office. I don't like going to the post office, so I'm going to do it all at once, right? I had a good singing voice until I got a severe throat infection when I was young, and it destroyed my singing voice. Oh, honey. I had chronic bronchitis and chronic laryngitis, which means my voice, I could talk, but there were times I would just be 1 minute and the next thing you know, my voice is gone, completely gone. I went to the doctor once. I don't know how old I was, in my 20s. And I had laryngitis and I couldn't talk. He said, don't try. I said, but the funny thing was I could sing. So I said, I can talk to you like this. And he goes, don't do that. He said, you're making your voice box work in a way it's not meant to on a regular basis. And it'll make it worse. I could sing, I couldn't talk. And then he said, don't sing. Right, when you have laryngitis. And I had but I quit smoking. Chronic bronchitis. I've had bronchitis like twice since I quit smoking. Right? I used to get it every year. I would get laryngitis all the time. Of your dollar treat, a picture or a video, Yarn Prepper? Did you put it on Connected Hearts? I'm canning chicken and then potatoes today. I have fibro too. It sucks. I know. You got asthma instead. Get rid of do you have carpets? If anybody in your home has asthma, get rid of all wall-to-wall carpeting and rugs. Area rugs you can take outside, hang them on a clothesline, beat the bejeebers out of them and hose them down. Other rugs are made for for their cheapness and their fiber, and they're cheaper than flooring. And guess what? They're really horrific. I got rid of carpets. Arthur's asthma disappeared completely. Completely disappeared. Then I quit smoking in the house, and Briar's ear infections all cleared up. He never got ear infections again. Holds all the shit. My mother, that's one thing I learned from my mother, man. Our floors were all lino flooring. Not lino, yeah, but the, not the peel, not the peel and stick tiles, but the thick, heavy ones that you had to tar and put down. My dad and my sister did all our floors. So I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why. But I remember getting bronchitis when I was a little, but both my parents, and I got ear infections, but both my parents smoked. And I remember Mom saying to Dad, she can never smoke. She can never smoke. She'll, it'll kill her. I started inhaling at 12. Hubby used to get bad sinus infections all the time when we pulled out carpet, and he has not had one since. Yep. They hold. They, how they talk about the tiny microscopic bugs in your, your bedding and stuff like that. Don't make your bed in the morning. Fold it open and let the air at it. Okay? But if you think that's what's in your bed, you don't want to know what's in your carpets, no matter how you try to clean them. And the fibers are cheap and dangerous for your health. Oh, you're getting ready to do your first floor in wood. Oh, all these floors have to be done again. All of them have to be done again. I bought cheap, and I bought it because it was on sale. I'll never do it again. I'm going to wait until I can afford. I need a new roof, and I need new floors. And the new floors I want the composite hardwood. You know what I'm talking about? The kind that looks exactly like hardwood. But it's compressed hardwood. Dust mites, no matter how much shampooing, exactly. Oh, don't even get at me on quilts. That's a Monday thing from now on. It's my day off. I'm going to be quilting on Mondays. So Sunday nights, I'll be cleaning, right? All right. Excuse me. So, I love turbines. Turbines don't choke me. Not if they're rolled right. So, remember I said I was going to can those round steaks that are in my freezer? I am, but not the way I said I was going to. I'm going to pressure cook them with a bag of celery ends and a bag of carrot peels. And then I'm going to make my minestrone soup with the broth and can it. Where's Chaos? Hey, Chaos, how's it going, sweetheart? Oh, that one went flying. Somebody was asking me about these breaking, and they do, but somebody else also gave me a really good idea, okay? When you're using your chop wizard, it's good to put it on a folded towel or on a cutting board that's on a folded towel because it's almost like a shock absorber. And when you put them on here, try not to do anything thicker than that, and never ever do sweet potatoes in this thing, okay? Put your hand on the hinge, support that hinge, see? And ever since somebody taught me that, touch wood, no breakage. Oh, I am sitting here and not getting my work done. I'm too busy talking. I bought this cell phone holder that's supposed to fit around your neck, right? So you can hold it out here. But this is what I use it for because I can maneuver it. I'm not sure, Terry. It booted me out, and then I had to come back into chat. Sorry, I have to leave, everyone. I need to get my dinner ready for tonight. Everyone have a blessed day. God bless everyone. Need to check the weather station. I have friends in Alabama. Don't tell me there's fires there too. Please, folks, fill me in on what's actually happening because I don't watch the news. Right? I don't. I got this cell phone holder. It's just a flexible rod with a cell phone holder on it. I got it at Princess Auto. It's not the greatest, but it does the job for this. Hurricanes again. More? Another hurricane. What can somebody fill me in on what happened to the two converging ones? Did they converge? The ones off the coast of the Gulf Coast. Lake Charles is still without power from 3 weeks ago. Oh my God. Oh, well, we would make sure that we do some heavy duty praying. Well, I hope everybody after this year, when 2020, remember how they were saying that, Jesus divided time in two, okay? Before AD and BC, okay? This pandemic's going to do the same thing. It's going to be pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, before the pandemic, after the pandemic. It's, and the weather systems, the fires, the pandemic, all these things that are going on in the world are beyond our control to a certain degree. But we do have control over how we handle them. And you know what I mean? So I hope a lot of people who weren't home canners or preppers of any kind start to remember what their grandparents and their parents did. Okay? And that is store up when things are plenty. Buy things when you don't want to go out in cold and flu season. This pandemic was a wake-up call. Whether you believe it's as bad or that, I believe that the pandemic is absolutely, unequivocally real. Okay? Because I know people have had COVID. But I also believe the world leaders have taken advantage of the chaos. Right? So again, we have to stay here and take control of the things we can control. Preparing for disasters, having a bug out plan if you have to go somewhere because of forest fires or hurricanes, having a place where you are ready to go, right? Bags packed kind of thing. Storing up for winter so you don't have to go out in cold and flu season. These things were always very common sense things because in the past, all right, people had no choice. Okay, sometimes life is all about choices, right? People had no choice but to do it when things were in season. But when world markets started opening up and transportation of goods became like that, we were given food that normally we wouldn't eat in those seasons. I honestly believe that my body works better when I eat summer foods in the summer and I eat winter foods in the winter. We are using our stocked items now. Need to restock soon. I hear you, Mrs. Wolf. I hear you. But the thing is, my body, I crave different foods at different times of year. And I'm not talking about Christmas cookies because, yeah, that's a mental craving. My body craves meat and root vegetables in the winter, carrots, onions, turnips, potatoes, meat, right? That's what my body craves all winter long. That's why we eat a lot of soups, right? In the summer, I crave freshly washed romaine leaves with diced cooked chicken breast on top, some sour cream and Parmesan. Chicken, you know what I mean? I eat differently in the summer, not because of the weather, but because things are cheaper, more available, and my body craves them. Worked with someone who only ate in season foods, plus only grown in North America. Right? It makes sense. All right? Everybody wonders why the Ingalls, the real Ingalls, look at Almanzo Wilder. He lived to be 92. He lived to be some 92 years old, right? That man had diphtheria when they were first married, right? But people ate in season. And I honestly think that's the way we're meant to eat. Because if I ate a salad in the wintertime, my bowels go nuts. But in the summertime, I can eat them all summer long. So it's kind of weird. Is Howie going deer hunting this year? Yes. And we forgot to buy into the lottery for the doe tags. So we got to hope for he gets a little buck this year. But I got a good feeling. You know, we were really there wasn't a lot of deer last year. And I'm going to see that he takes a week off in November so that he can actually hunt, right? I hear the horses next door squealing and playing. And once in a while I hear, a complaining pig and I hear the rooster. And after I butcher, dispatch, and do mine, I'm not getting them anymore. But I'll tell you something. There are places in Ottawa where Howie can get fresh eggs. And that's what I'll do. Or I'll just buy organic from Costco, But I think I'm going to get a big batch in. And because I'm going to get a big batch in, and I'm going to freeze eggs. Yeah, I'm going to freeze eggs. Can't see across the street here, and schools may be closing. Oh my God, is that the smoke, sweetheart? Where are you? Do you have to buy tags for deer? Yes. Yes. Unless, we could prove that we were at least half native, but we're not. We can't. So oh, smoke's really bad. My two oldest kids are staying home to look after the livestock. Yeah. You have to buy tags for hunting, for all hunting. Although I'm thinking of getting the shotgun out because the squirrels are looking pretty fat. When they put the road cut through Wakefield, they displaced, they took out a whole section of mountain and bush and to put the road through so we could go another 10 kilometers. Anyway, they displaced a lot of animals, and we found things moving farther north that normally we'd never see past Hull, like gophers, like groundhogs, and city squirrels, black and gray squirrels. Up here, the squirrels are all red, and if black and gray squirrels come into the neighborhood, you're going to start losing the red squirrels because they'll eat their babies. The black ones will eat they'll kill off the red ones. I took your advice and started my Christmas shopping in Costco, told hubby about what you said, and he agreed. Excellent, Helen. Excellent. We were talking about a Christmas card exchange, a Christmas card recipe exchange in the Connected Hearts. I physically, financially cannot send 500 and some Christmas cards. Okay. It would cost me, I figured it out yesterday, it cost me over $700. Okay. So, but what I'm leaving it up to Terry. You getting this, Terry? I'm leaving this. Is Dallas here or is she resting? I'm leaving it up to Terry to organize how we can have, it's kind of like a secret Santa, but how we can exchange, like I can afford to send 3 Christmas cards to Connected Hearts, or 5, maybe 5, right? So we should all kind of do a draw or something, Terry, of how we figure out who's going to send cards to who. And then we're going to put a recipe card that we hand write in. Okay? For our favorite holiday recipe. You know mine will be snowballs, right? So, I mean, you getting it, Terry? That was Christina's idea yesterday. Exactly. Hey, Kathy Miller. So, that's Terry's new project. She's going to figure out, because she obviously is a hell of a lot more organized than I am. But Terry is going to figure out how we can do a Christmas card exchange where each of us sends 5 cards out so that we all get cards. Unless you don't celebrate Christmas, and then, you're going to have to find out who doesn't celebrate and who does. And then we can always substitute a card with a thinking of you card if they don't celebrate Christmas, right? Maybe it's Sherry. Sherry from Two Family Homestead, we could send her a Happy Hanukkah card, right? Mazel Tov or whatever. So, I mean, there's ways, if you don't celebrate Christmas, we can still find ways of sending out cards that say, I'm thinking of you. You're a part of something. You are connected other than just on the internet. Does that make sense? It'll feel good to have a physical contact, even if it's just a card and a recipe card from our Connected Hearts. Now, I like the idea of getting cards in the mail. I look forward to my Christmas cards. I really do. And I'll tell you something else. 80% of the Christmas cards I get are from y'all. People send me Christmas cards. I can't send them back or I'd be broke. But people send me Christmas cards and I put a ribbon up and I hang my Christmas cards with love, I have an idea for it, Terry. Oh, good. Yeah, exactly. And this way, with every card you get, even if it's 5, you're going to get 5 recipes and 5 greetings from your fellow Connected Hearts, right? But everybody's going to get 5. It has to be every person who wants to participate. So first we need to do a poll, Terry, and find out who wants to participate in a card and recipe exchange, and find out and ask them, like do a poll and ask them, if you don't celebrate Christmas, what do you celebrate? And if you don't celebrate anything, would you be okay to receive a I'm thinking of you card, right? I'm going to miss the cookie exchange parties. Well, mailing these days is not the postal system these days is screwed, right? Because of so much online shopping. So this is something, it would be nice to have it organized by the end of November so that December 1st or the last week of November, we can send out our cards and hope that they're going to get there. But as for, I don't think if I made cookies and tried to send them to somebody, they'd be dead or stale or powder by the time you got them. So this is kind of a different thing, right? Thank you, Terry. She is a very hard-working volunteer for our Connected Hearts group. Terry is a very hard-working volunteer, and I appreciate you, Terry. And I appreciate all my moderators. What, Patricia? So, I mean, it'll make something special. And I broke the news to Howie last night that I picked the Christmas tree this year because I'm the only one who seems to decorate it and take it down and undecorate it. So I said, we can have a real tree and it doesn't have to go in the window, but it can't be any taller than me. No, you are special, Terry. You are special. You go out of your way to help everybody. And that's a blessing. That's blessings that you give people. When you help someone, you're blessing them with your love. Terry, you help us all. So hey. Well, maybe you could, Patricia, maybe you can help, you and Terry can work it out. But let's keep it simple. Let's try and keep it simple. I know it sounds easy, but I've given Terry a really daunting task. We have over 500 connected hearts. But I'm pretty sure we're going to start taking a list of the people that are actually able to show up in live chat, right? Because that may narrow things down some. But if we want to do the whole Connected Hearts Facebook page thing, it's going to take a lot of work, right? And we also have to trust that, that we have to be able to, this is another thing about having trust in our group members. We have to be able to trust the fact that we can give our addresses out. Okay? I'm a very private person. Very private person. But I don't worry about it so much anymore. You know what I mean? Oh, Terry, don't worry about it right now. Stay with us here. So, I mean, isn't it a beautiful idea of getting something physical, even if it's a card and a handwritten recipe card, even if it's something that simple? Doesn't I get joy every time I open a card that isn't from a family member? Right? I don't get a lot of family members doing cards. I mean, oh shoot, I put too many in here. There we go. How about making it into a raffle? Each member picks 5. Whatever. Terry's the one who's going to organize it. Terry, and if you need help, Furby will help. And hey, Chaos. Yeah, when I was I was a little late getting things posted because just as I was posting stuff for Patreon, my computer decided to go blue screen and say something's gone wrong and we're going to fix it and restart your computer. And I went, okay. That's creepy, isn't it? But also helpful. I've killed so many computers over the years with my lack of knowledge. I'm good at multitasking. I like to start with what is in my head, so then I can fine tune it as it gets closer. Okay. How do you send me a card? You email me at connectedhearts@gmail.com and I'll give you my address. If I know you. If your name on your email is different from your YouTube name, please go, hi, this is, say, Sue. Okay? And then beside it, it would say Downtown Mini Homesteader. I go, oh, okay. I know who you are. Right? So, used to run a Christmas group on Yahoo. Okay. Just make sure that you guys aren't, at odds with each other. Okay? Terry's got the task, and anybody else who wants to help, great, but don't overwhelm her, okay? So, but that sounds perfect, Sue. That sounds perfect. How about a Connected Hearts cookbook? Everyone could post a recipe on the page. That's what Terry's already doing. Terry's already made a connected, on the Connected Hearts, there is, what is it, Terry? Okay, Christina, take care, sweetheart. I'm glad you got to have a break with us. Terry already has a page within the Connected Hearts for recipes. She posts them and then they go into a file, don't they? Don't they, Terry? I love raw carrots. I just don't have the teeth to chew them anymore. Recipe are under the files tab. Can we, and is it labeled as, Connected Hearts recipes? After I get these carrots chopped and blanched and on the dehydrator, I'm going to start my minestrone soup prep. Yeah. Just has the recipes in it, no other files. There you go. So any recipes, Terry, do you put, if anybody shares a recipe in the Connected Hearts, do you put those recipes in too? If someone wants to find your address, they will. There seems to be no privacy on the internet. Yeah, I know. Hell, Celtic Bear has my address. Do I look worried? So. Hey, Doris, how are you doing, honey? How's the news from home? Have you got rain yet? Forgive me, folks, if you've already given me the information for where Doris lives, but I don't remember where people live. You know how I am with music? Anybody will tell you on my Cooking with Cannabis Freaky Fridays that they will sometimes recommend a song and I'll say, I've never heard of that. I don't know the band. I don't know the name of the song, but I'll look it up. And then when it starts to play, I go, oh, I love this song. Because I don't keep titles and band names in my head. I go by how it makes me feel when I hear it. And it drives my family nuts. And they'll say, yeah, you know it. No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. And they'll play it. Oh, yeah, those guys. No. You know what I mean? So I'm that way with people. Yeah. Okay, Joe, you take care, sweetheart. And don't overdo it, okay? Still somewhat new here. Where's everybody from? I am from Quebec. Originally, I was born in Toronto, Ontario. That's why and the fact that I live in Quebec is a very long story. Oh, I hope so. Hey, Mrs. Wolf. Louisiana. Shirley is Louisiana. Yarn Preppers, Wisconsin. Okay, well, if anybody puts a recipe up, Terry, but I haven't seen too many recipes other than Terry putting them up. Wow. Louisiana, Wisconsin, Georgia, Oklahoma, Oregon, Alaska, Ontario. Oh, is that Ontario, Canada? Nana, or is that Ontario, California? Virginia, Florida, New Hampshire, New York, West Virginia, Tennessee, Northeast Indiana. Wow. Greenville, Tennessee. Grew up in Lake Placid, Florida. Hubby and I came to Tennessee to be close to his distant family and get back to his roots. Well, that's awesome. Michigan, Florida, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Kentucky, yes, Ontario, Canada, Ontario, Missouri. Hi, Ann Lewis, how's it going? Ireland, there we go, Vancouver Island. Top of the morning to you, Ann. Vancouver Island, Jersey Shore. Oh, no other place than Canada. I'm sorry, you guys can love your countries, and that's okay. All right? Canada's my home. Always will be. The U.S. is my second home. But if I ever got a chance, I'd go straight to Scotland. There is an Ontario and New York as well. Raised my kids there. Really? I didn't know that. You grew up in Scotland, Helen Burke. Huh. Illinois, Idaho. I bet you get deals on potatoes, Patricia. Excuse me, Furby. I would love to visit Oak Island. Oh, that's Oak Island's off of Nova Scotia, isn't it? Or isn't it? Ah, small town. Oh, I held this up last night and I said to Howie, can you imagine how big this carrot was? I want to visit Nova Scotia because I have family there. I've been to PEI. I'd like to see Newfoundland and Labrador. And I've seen a bit of New Brunswick and a bit of Quebec. But I need to go farther west. I've been to Manitoba and Saskatchewan when I was a kid. I want to visit BC. I want to visit BC. I want to see the whole. It's kind of like Canada's California, right? Where they rarely get snow down below, but if you want snow, you just go up over the hill. You know what I mean? Oak Island. God, don't get me started. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. This one's a biggie. Nope. This one does not want to go through. It's too big. Let's see if that helps. No. Shit. Shoot. I got a stuck one. Oh, no. I know what I'll do. I'll pry it out with my knife. Oh, God help me. I'll just try this. Cut this down a little bit. Maybe. Ugh. You got to be careful. You can't do things that are too big. There. Or you'll break it. Is the chicken cooked through? When you can it? Okay, are you asking me about raw pack canning? Or are you asking me about when I pressure cook it? And then can it? I know all about Oak Island. My husband's a Treasure of Oak Island junkie. Oh yeah, absolutely. When it's done, it's completely cooked through. I gave Briar a half-pint jar one night when he was staying here, and I cooked him up some noodles, and I gave him a half-pint jar, and he put in like spinach and a bit of mayonnaise and sour cream and a bit of Parmesan, and he diced the chicken up, and he said, that was really good chicken. But he said, is it cooked? I said, Briar, yes, it's cooked. Of course it's cooked. Mega cooked. Oh, that would be nice. Egg with Sally. You don't ever get any Christmas cards, so this kind of exchange would be wonderful. There you go. Yeah, I'm not a Curse of Oak Island fan. It's kind of like Forged in Fire. Howie has certain television shows he watches. Forged in Fire, Curse of Oak Island. I didn't see Skinwalker Ranch last night, but it sounds like something I might watch. But he also watches Below Decks, like the yachting and below decks sailing and below decks Mediterranean. You know what I mean? And I get sucked into watching those. Raw pack canning, pints 75 minutes, quarts 90 minutes, right? What's a BIH fan either? Oh, I'm not sure I understood that. Oh, it's good. Skinwalker Ranch is good. Well, the way our TV sometimes works is, yeah. And when you get a big piece like this, don't make it any thicker than that, or you'll break your chopper. You know what? I don't watch TV, okay, folks? Jolie. Hello, Jolie. Wet Sally is Jolie. It's just the top that wasn't submerged in the juices. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. When you raw pack can, okay, it is completely sealed. What happens to the reason it's called pressure canning is because when you put the canner on and you vent that steady stream of steam for 10 minutes, it's pushing all the air out of the canner so that when you put the weight on it, it goes like that. And it pressurizes the cooking process. You're cooking the food right in the jars. And also, there's a reason why you don't tighten your jars really, really hard. You tighten them to fingertip tight. I don't mean screwed on like that. I mean like that, right? Because there has to be enough give for air to be pushed out of the jar. If you put the lids on too tight, they'll buckle under the pressure. Do you understand? So there's reasons why. I love raw packing chicken. I'm telling you, that as soon as breasts go on sale, next time breasts goes on sale, and I missed the sale this week, I'm gonna do more because I just love it. It's so versatile, right? I can take a pint jar out, and that's 2 breast halves, and make that. I can chop that up into a salad. I've taken a half pint jar and made Howie's chicken salad sandwiches for his lunch. You could chop it up into soup. You could chop it up into a casserole, and it's tender and juicy because you canned it raw. It's really awesome. I can be a bit of a lazy canner sometimes. That raw packing is right up my alley. Exactly. I'm actually going to pressure cook those steaks today with stuff. I'm getting my minestrone started, but yes, there will be a video on start to finish. I'm rotating out some of my freezer stock because Howie, this is the problem with sending your husband to the store on their way home from work. I said they have 3 packs of steaks and they're on sale. Well, they were like strip steaks. He got the 3 packs of these flat round steaks. And so I had to break them up and put them in separate bags, but the freezer bags didn't hold, right? So I'm going to have to do something with those. And I have 8 of them. So I'm going to pressure cook them, and I'm going to turn them into canned minestrone soup without the pasta. Oh, you should get it. You should get one, Kathy. Pressure canners are the best thing ever. Hey, Steven! How's it going, darling? I'm sitting here chopping carrots. I've got another third of a bag to go, but I'll, again, peel those watching TV tonight, like I did these last night. And then I might do another bag. I don't know. I so far have 1 half-gallon jar of carrots done, of sliced carrots. Hey, Lee, how's it going? Pressure canners are a tool nobody should be without. You should buy one, get to know it, give it a name, read all the instructions, watch all the videos. Just don't watch Rebel canning videos, especially if you're new, okay? Because not everything is meant to be canned. Metro and Independent have chicken on sale next week. Is next week payday? I think next week's payday. So, yeah. I was scared to can at first, but now I love it. Oh, yeah. Me too. My dad had a pressure cooker that he got for Christmas. And I guess it was a wedding gift that somebody didn't want to deal with it, so they gave it to my dad. And my dad pressure cooked. He put parsnips in it. It made me sick. But I remember my dad telling me never to do that, never to use his pressure cooker. And I said, why? He said, those things are a bomb if you don't use them properly, right? They're bloody dangerous. They'll go off like a bomb. So when Briar was a toddler, or when Briar was a baby, my landlord, this is before we bought our first house, my landlord and his wife, their property surrounded ours, and they had cows and gardens and all that stuff. And I went over one day, and she had a fresh stack of green and yellow beans in jars. I said, how'd you do that? Did you put vinegar in it? And she said, no, I pressure canned it. And I said, what's that? She said, come on over tomorrow and I'll show you. And she did. And the first thing I bought when I saved up $129 was a great big old Wherever pressure canner. Wherever then got bought out by Miro, which got bought out by Presto. So if you have older canners, always look for Presto. If it's a Miro or a Wherever, then those are the ones you want to look in your thing for. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have 3 pressure canners. I actually have 4, but the seal isn't the greatest, and it's old, and I use it for like double boiling or other things. Oh, there you go, Lee. Did you? It was they really enjoyed it. How am I ever gonna go gluten free? I mean, I can live without bread, and I can buy gluten free pasta. But I mean, I bake. I bake. I bake. Yeah, I mean, learning anything new is always a challenge, right? My twins are starting remote learning, so I was having them getting their desks set up in their room. Not fun. I prefer pressure canning over water bath for sure after today's debacle. What was the debacle? I know that I'm going to be buying parts for my pressure canner this winter. I'm going to buy new seals, you know, anything that, trays, anything you can think of that you might have to replace on your canner, you should have in your pantry, right? I get lazy about it because I have 3 pressure canners, right? I have a great big tall one, I have a shorter tall one, and then I have the one this one right here. This one right here that I've got my carrots in. Because it was too full. There was too many carrots to keep underwater in a stock pot. Just working over here. Are you having a break? Yeah, that's a great idea, Stephen. Capital idea. Pay no attention to the woman behind the fan. I have 2 pressure canners and 1 water bath. What do you buy? This is another thing. I got all excited, bought all the water bath canners and stuff like that. But guess what? You can water bath can in your pressure canner. Yeah, just put the tray in the bottom and set the jars under the. You don't lock the lid on. I use my pressure canners as double boilers when I'm cooking down tomatoes. When I'm cooking down anything. Right? I use my pressure canners as double boilers. I use them as water bath canners. I use them as pressure canners. I use them as pressure cookers. I'm telling you, they're an indispensable tool. Kind of like my KitchenAid. Hopefully, the KitchenAid will be getting fixed before Thanksgiving. Joe Mama, you figured what out, sweetheart? I was told to take my canner to my local county extension office to get it calibrated because it was a gauge. Anyone heard of this? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of the reasons I don't do pressure gauges. It just adds one more thing I got to worry about, right? I go by I'm just do a weight gauge. There's no pressure gauge. But then I know my canners too, right? And remember, folks, hang on. When every spring before you can, or better yet, at the end of canning season, break down your canners, give them all a good scrubbing in hot, soapy Dawn and vinegar water. Rinse them really well, and then come spring, do it again, but make sure that your rubber rings, your inserts for your lids, before you use them the first time, make sure you soak them in hot boiling water. Like put them in a hot water sink and pour boiling water in so that they soften. They too have to soften. If they sit too long, they'll get hard. The rings will get hard. I know, Cheryl Lee, but I had 2 All-Americans and I never even took them out of the box. They were a wonderful gift, but I am one of those people who I won't open a brand new dehydrator if I've got 2 working ones, right? And so these 2, I have 3 canners, as I just said. So somebody sending me 2 All-Americans, one to give away, one for me to keep and use, I never opened the box on the one that I was supposed to keep and use. So I gave it away. I have a feeling, though, shipping these dehydrators is going to be a real nightmare. So when I do my giveaway, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, if I buy anything online to mail out, I will just make sure I get the winner's address and I'll have it shipped right to them so that I don't have to pay for shipping twice. Does that make sense? The only problem with waiting until then to order something is that you may run into the fact that it's not in stock. So, pulling the summer squash plants, took down 1 greenhouse this morning. My God, Stephen, you are such a hard worker. Thank you, Bev. That was the only one I could find on the shelf. The only what you could find on the shelf. I missed that somehow. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. The canner with the pressure gauge. It's not a bad thing, right? But you do need to make sure they're regulated, right? I have the AA 925 Wish. I had gotten the size up. Can only do 7 quarts at a time. That's what this one does. But I think my tall one, I can do 2 layers of quarts in, but I don't know. I know in my tall one, if I'm doing half pints and 1 row of them is the squat half pint jars, I can get 3 layers in the canner. Vacuum your seals. Oh, I never thought of that. Vacuum seal your seals so that they don't dry out. Huh. Thanks now, home and plan on doing some canning. Thanks now. Now home and plan on doing some canning. Awesome. Yeah, for your pressure canners. That's a great idea. You can replace the weight with a jiggler and not go by the gauge. Yeah. That's what I have is just the weights, the jigglers. But you still have them on the pressure gauge too. So I don't get it, right? But I mean, that's why I use them, right? I am not getting my work done here. So when I'm done here, I'm going to go dig those frozen steaks out of the freezer and one of my grocery bags of washed celery tops and ends and one of my bags of excuse me, that caught me on the edge of my throat. Piece of carrot. Excuse me. Well, Lee, that's you love Bev's videos on how pressure canning our birds for stock. That's how I do it all the time now. Well, guess what? I'll be doing a video again on because I have 5 chickens and a rooster and I'm getting 1 egg a week or something, right? And they're older birds. So the only way, like most people will throw away or literally dispatch and throw away old laying hens, because most farms that do the laying hens have the production breeds, and they don't have a lot of meat on them. But I'm telling you, old tough laying hens are still good eating if you got a pressure canner, right? So that's what I'm doing with the steaks that have lost their seal in the freezer today. I'm doing steaks, celery, celery ends, and carrot peels and ends. And I'm going to throw in a couple of onions, a couple of garlic, and I'm going to pressure cook that. And then I'll strain it all. I'll take the broth and the meat, and then I'll make my minestrone soup for canning with that way. I started saving all my veg scraps for broth. Would never have thought of doing that. Well, yeah, make sure you wash them before you put them in the freezer. That way you can dump and go when you need them, right? But yeah, big deal. Just don't save potato scraps. They don't really do well. And the peppers I did find made my broth a tad on the bitter side, but I only put those ones in pints. So they're a fine additive for, say, if I open a quart of my minestrone soup and I add a pint of my veg broth in and then throw in the noodles. I'm living out of my pantry this year. The only thing I can't live out of is milk and fresh bananas and fruit and stuff. How do you can whole birds for broth? Can somebody, are any moderators here? Terry or Furby, can you find the video? Never mind, I'll do it. I know what I'm looking for. Just give me a second. And I will get you the video link. Okay? I will get you the video link right here. Search channel. Come on, come on. Open, open, open. Sorry, folks. This kind of stuff happens. All right. Just hang on a second. Mm, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. When was this one? 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Here we go. This is I'm going to do a new video on this year too. All right. Let me just restore my chat here. There you go. Oh, well, there you go. No, because these laying hens, Howie's going to dispatch them and pluck them. Then he'll bring them in the house, and I will clean them really well. And when you're cleaning your birds, folks, make sure you get your fingers right into the ribs, because I always thought of lungs as inflatable bags in your chest, like kind of floating around in your chest wall. They're not. They're actually, if these are your ribs, the lungs actually go into your ribs like that. So when you're cleaning out a chicken, make sure you go into the upper rib cage and peel out those lungs. Okay? The chopper on the steaks, slightly frozen to cube them. No. No. No, thank you. I just love my chopper too much to try and make it do something it wasn't designed for. And besides, I'll be pressure cooking the steaks. They'll practically fall apart. Right? So, early winter, folks. I know, honey. And I got 2 big Cinderella pumpkins out there that are still green. But I got other squash that are still coming. I don't get it. Right? They're still coming. And I've got to get my celery. As soon as the carrots are done, I got to get my celery in. But I have been kind of working with my celery. Like when I made supper last night, I went out and got the soup I made. from the bones from when I was doing the meal videos, the freezer meal videos. I had gone out in my garden and got a small bunch of celery that was kind of being crowded out by the bigger ones, and I just use that for my pot of soup. So when I do my minestrone, when I'm out there, or when I get my meat and my celery ends and my carrots and everything pressure cooking, I'm going to go out and I'm going to start pulling celery just for the soup, right? Some of these carrots are going to go just in the soup, right? So it's kind of a choreography of, I'm going to use up as much celery as I can in other recipes before I have to pull it all and can and dehydrate it, right? Plus, I'm doing carrots right now, so I can't do celery. It's just there's not enough room. I don't have enough dehydrator space. So, some of these carrots are huge. Yeah, I know there's going to be an early winter, and it's going to be a long, snowy one. It's not going to be bitter, bitter, bitter cold. Like, we're going to have our bitter cold days, but it's going to be a heavy snow winter. Do you feel that, Stephen? 2 pairs of socks on currently. How come? Hotter than Hades here, and probably will end up being 85 on Christmas Day. Where are you, Terry? I contemplated putting my heat on to take the chill out. Yeah. I've got 2 cord of wood already that Howie, now that the racing's over, the hot water heater has to come off the porch and be put and installed in the basement. Howie'll do a video, or I will watch him and do a video. He hates doing videos when he's working. This is why it would be really nice to have a camera person, right? So the new hot water heater has to go in because mine's 13 years old, and even though we replaced everything, it's just time, right? And what else does he got to do? He's got to clean my house. Like, not clean my house. He has to sweep, dust, and wash the floors for me. And I have paid him to do that. I paid him in racing fuel. Hey, Candy Olson! La Nina this year? Not El Nino. La Nina. Are you saying it right? Because El Nino would mean a warm summer or warm winter. I'm still getting zucchini, and we have been in 40s overnight. Wow, I'd kill for some zucchini, like a couple of big zucchini right now. But nobody sells them that size, so I'm going to have to find a farmer. I'm going to have to go to the farmer's market on payday and hope I can still get zucchini. But I doubt it, right? But I'm looking for rutabagas, because what I got in the garden I don't think is going to be enough. All my stuff is at home. Thankful it's safe. It's just hard. I know, sweetheart. Can potatoes stay in through a frost? Sure. I don't see why not. As long as it's not a hard frost that freezes the ground. But yeah, my potatoes have to be dug up. So Howie's got a lot of things to do starting this weekend. This weekend's potatoes, right? Because he's got to dig up the potatoes so that I can deal with them. Then my stock pot's almost full. Then, a heart. La Nina. Okay. Heavy, wet snow. Exactly. So, then, after he digs up the potatoes, he has to, and what else did I say he had to do? Put the hot water heater in. Then he's got to pile the wood on the porch, or start the wood pile on the porch. We've got to put the cover on the pool because the leaves are about to start falling. As red as they're not all even red. They're just starting to fall. Today, after this, I also have to go out, when I go out for celery, I have to pick up pears off the ground and make sure there's no worms in them, and see if I can't salvage some of those. And then I've got to pick celery for my minestrone soup. It's just constant this time of year. It's constant. What did I miss? What did Yarn Prepper say? Spaghetti squash. Yeah. They're still trying to come. I've been picking them off so that the growth can go to the ones that are already there, but uh-oh. There we go. Larry the loofah. So many zucchini this year, over a foot long. Oh, God, Pam. I wish I was closer, too. I don't know how long you have to let potatoes cure. I don't even necessarily let them cure. I just throw them in a bushel basket or whatever and leave them in the porch until I can get to them. And then I scrub them and peel them and do my thing. I'm actually wearing socks and sneakers for the first time in ages. Can you see that? Oh, I can't lift my leg. Can you see that? I'm wearing slippers. Take care, Stephen. Have a great day, dear. Love you. Bye-bye, honey. I'm wearing slippers right now. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm not in my tank top. And it's clouding over. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like first or second year we were here. I had decorated the front porch. It was over there at this time, with pumpkins and everything for fall. Now, our Thanksgiving is usually between October 8th to the 12th, somewhere around there. It's on the 12th this year, I believe. And it snowed so heavy that I had to bring my pumpkins in and cook them. And that was before Thanksgiving. So we had a heavy, heavy snowfall in October. So it feels like that kind of year is coming. Let potatoes cure 7 to 10 days after harvesting. Why? I mean, they usually get stuck in a bag in my, or a box in my porch until I can get to them, but why? Living barefoot. I used to be barefoot, but my feet got too sensitive over time. So I was brutal on my feet. Oh, well, the skins have to get tough, but the skins may have to get tough, but only if you're storing them. I'm canning mine and dehydrating mine. Right? I'm not storing any potatoes. And I'm out of jars, can't can them, so I'll have to store them. Right. I've heard they store better. Oh, well, okay. Oh, my God. Once I'm done, once this pot is empty, this canning pot, I will actually fill it up with water and I will use it to blanch these. This thing gets so full, and I have a little comb, but every once in a while I just like to run the tip of my paring knife through and bang some things out. So I'm going to try and make potato flakes this year too, Sue. The people who've made the potato flakes with the mashed potatoes, I would really like to see them rehydrate them to see how they turn out. I will try it with a small batch, but right now my dehydrators are going 24/7, right? Gotta go, getting chaotic here. Okay, sweetheart. Now listen. Okay, Furby, love you. All right, folks. Oh my God, it's been an hour and a half. I've got to get off here. We've just been talking, right? Anyway, for all those who care to, please help me close with a spiritual hug. This is a non-denominational blessing that we add our energy to, our positive energy to every day to help uplift and support each other, but to also help heal the things that are going on in the world right now. Okay? So don't let the fact that I call my higher power God stop you from adding your positive energy and hope and to this blessing. Okay? Oh, thank you, Sue. All right. Take a deep breath. Hang on, I gotta rinse the carrot out of my mouth. It sucks having no molars. Well, at least molars that don't line up. Hey, God, it's us connected hearts. And everybody else out there who may watch this after the fact, please feel free to add your blessing into the closing, even though it's after the fact. Hey, God, hurricanes, wildfires, dude, this is some biblical shit. Can you not, we get the message, right? The world's a shitstorm right now. So please, God, please, I'm begging you, we got the message. Please allow these people to get out of the path, to get their animals to safety, and send some rain, God. Just not hurricane level stuff, okay? Oi, oi, oi. Look after all our friends that have been displaced or are in the path of these storms and fires. Look after them, God. I mean, they need you. And even if they're too afraid or too even if they can't pray for themselves, God, we want to pray for them. Okay? So please look after them. And God, this is the part where we ask you to help us push back the darkness in the world. Push back the darkness with our light. All the negative social media, all the negative media, all the horrific things that are going on in the world that the media just eats up and makes people frightened and scared. Okay? There's a lot of sick people and people that are alone and don't have support systems, or and they need help. So God, we lift them up to you. Please, God, let the sunshine of your love and our positive energy push out in a positive wave of blessing across the world today. It's a pretty sick place right now, God. We just want it to get healthy again. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And we pray. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet. Blessed be. Miigwech. Walk with God. Be well with the Great Spirit. Okay, or be one with the Great Spirit. Whatever your salutation may be, please, please, let it be in love and peace, because that's the only way we're going to push back at the darkness that is enveloping the world right now. All right? I love you guys. Take care. God bless. I got to finish these carrots. I got a lot of other stuff I got to get done. All right? Mwah! 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 I love you guys. God bless.